everybody, welcome back or welcome to my channel if you're here for the first time. My name is Heather and we are a fun, fabulous sewing channel where I am always me and I encourage you to be you unless you're mean, and then please be someone else. Anyways, welcome to today's video. We are on a roll with our back to school items, and we did a poll during the pencil pouch video. If I was to run out of time, which of course I have, if I was to run out of time, what item would you really like to see me make? And so we did a poll, and the winner by like just a hair was emergency bags. And I don't mean like EMT paramedic bags. I mean, if you're sort of scrolling through Pinterest and you're looking for back to school, one of the items that is on all of these boards is emergency bags. And they're basically bags that hold, like medicine, feminine products, wipes, little deodorants, sort of like those things that you might need, not like a medical emergency need, but like a need, like you need them. So emergency bags won by just a touch. A quick or close second was the tiny totes. And then there was a couple others that got some votes, multiple votes. And so I have recorded all of those, and I promise I will get to those. We have a long time together, guys. And so just because we're not there yet doesn't mean we're not going to get there. Tiny totes is on my list of things. And so those are definitely coming very soon. But we're here today, and oh, let me show you. Here's the emergency bag that we're making. And we're making it in 4 different materials today. So this is vinyl, and if you've been following along in the back to school videos, you noticed this pattern because we've used it a couple of times. And so you'll also notice that some of the back to school things, you're going to be able to scroll through the website and find things that match each other. So sort of adding them all. Now, this is the first one I made, and this is a free pattern from Miko Craft. I will link their video in my description box, and you'll have to go there to get it. It's not something I can provide to you, but it is still a free pattern. I chose it because it is super beginner friendly. It's really fast. It's easy. It does not take a lot of materials, and it has a handle. And I think just the idea of an emergency bag with a handle is so important, because if you want to run to the bathroom with your emergency bag, you can, and then you can hang it up on the hook. And so in my head, when I think of emergency bag, most of those things that I'm going to be taking out of that bag, I'm going to be doing in private, and I want to be able to hang up my bag, So I scrolled through patterns. I was like, maybe I can make one. But I found this and I was like, you know what? This is actually perfect. So I will link that video in the description box below. When you watch the video, you open it up and they'll tell you where to find the pattern. And like I said, it is free, so you can download it just like you download my free patterns, just from a different channel. And I'm all here for supporting everybody. And it's so worth it. It's smushy because it's not lined. Also, okay, so this is the first one I made. So I put the handle on the bottom. So this bag has a nice alligator base, which helps it stand and stay super structured, because I accidentally put the handle on the bottom and I had to take it out. So we covered that by putting on a really nice structured base. Problem solving, right? But we're gonna make 3 more together in our video today out of different materials. So we're gonna use a Polytech, and then we're going to use a waterproof canvas, and then we're going to use an air mesh, which we haven't used in the channel before, so I was really excited about that. But yeah, so you can see the inside. We do use a little bit of binding, but it's not a huge bit, and it's really, really simple, really easy, and everybody can make it. Now, With that said, you guys, today's video is officially announcing our back to school launch is live. So all of the products that we've been sewing, plus some of the products that you haven't seen me make. So there are some things on there that you haven't seen because I haven't videotaped them. They're live right now. So the link to the shop is in the description box also. I've sort of been hyping up this launch a lot, and there's a lot of one-of-a-kind items. So I just want to make sure, if you're watching this video, you'll be one of the first people to know that it is officially live, and all of those goodies that we've been making are going to be there. But I don't think they'll be there for very long. So you'll want to make sure that you definitely click on that link, open it up in another tab while you're watching, and do some shopping for back to school. Now, members to the channel, you guys, there's 12 of you now. Thank you. Thank you so much. You have no idea how much it means to me that you guys like me so much that you're members to the channel. I can't. Like, it warms my heart, and it means so much to me, so thank you. Members get discounts to my Etsy shop. So the higher level membership gets the largest discount, but the other membership level also gets a discount. So those discount codes are part of your membership perks, and it is not too late to become a member to get a discount. You can just click join below this video, and it will give you two options to choose from for becoming a member, and then you'll receive your perks for being a member, and one of those perks is a discount to the website. So that's always an option for you if you want, or you can just head on over to the website. Orders over $35 ship for free always, and so keep that in mind while you're shopping. But again, it is live, so you definitely want to go over there. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait to see what you guys pick out. All right, back to our video. So like I said, we're gonna head on over to the machine, and we're gonna make 3 more of these, and then we're gonna look at them all together. I'll pick a favorite, and I'll ask you guys to pick a favorite as well. So let's head on over to the machine and get going. All right, so we are at the machine, which as always is a Juki TL 2010Q. We are using Tex 35 weight thread in the top and the bobbin in white. We have a Microtex 9014 needle, and we're using our tank foot, and the numbers on their side are KT141 in case you're looking for it. The place that I got it does not sell them anymore, so I can't tell you where I got it from. All right, we are going to, so we have 3 different sort of textures here. So this is an air mesh, and it's kind of like it's the backpack mesh on the back of a lot of backpacks. We're going to use this today. We got it from Glitterbug Fairy, and we haven't used it. We've had it for a while. I thought it'd be cool to make one of these little bags out of it. We've got our leopard that we have been making for our entire back to school line, and this is the one that we'll do from start to finish, and this is waterproof canvas. And then we've got this Polytech here, which is like the Longchamp bags are made out of this material. And so I thought that would be cool to do as well. And then of course we've got our vinyl one sitting up here. So you can do this with a lot of different materials. And I just wanted to be able to showcase that. Now with our air mesh, we're actually going to do a little bit different of a technique. So I'm going to put our zip on for this one, and then we'll do our leopard bag from start to finish and sort of like speed sew through the rest. But we're going to take some bias tape, some double fold. I will link this and anything that I can in the description box below. So if you don't see it, I probably couldn't find it, or I didn't remember where it came from. We're also binding today, and we are going to use our white 1-inch wide elastic for that because it's my favorite thing to bind with, but you could bind with this as well. So if you only have one or the other, don't stress about it. So double fold bias tape, sometimes it has sort of like where everything is connecting, and we don't want to use that part of it. But basically what we're going to do is open it up. We're going to put in our air mesh. And then we're just gonna sew this right onto our zip tape like this. So we're not turning it inside or outside. We're not top stitching, we're just stitching it right on. And that's just because of this material. I think it'll look really nice like that. And so we're gonna give it a go. So I'm basically just lining up our material sort of right up against that zip as close as we can get it. And I'll end up doing 2 stitches, so we'll stitch the top on close to the zip and then we'll come down and we'll stitch the bottom as well. And I will show you up close what this looks like. Okay, just like that. And now that's stitched on and that's totally fine. That will allow us to make our bag. So I'm gonna set this to the side. I just wanted you to see how we were using the bias tape here to do something a little bit different. All right, so we're gonna grab our leopard. And what we wanna do at first, so we've put our nameplates on everything, and before we do zippers and then bag construction, these come together really quickly. We want to go ahead and take the opposite side of where we put our bag tag. And this right here, this is going to be the top, this smaller section. And in between these small cutouts is where we want to put our webbing. Okay. Now our webbing is measured to 9.5 inches. So if you want to use the measurements that we're using today, that's what we're using, 9.5 inches. Our webbing has been sealed with heat at the ends. Okay, and we're just gonna grab our ruler and we're going 1.5 inches from the cutout here. Okay, and we're just gonna make a mark. Of course, we're in a leopard spot. So we'll make a mark with our chalk instead. And then same thing from the other side, 1.5 inches in. We'll grab our marker for this. My goodness, you guys. Oh, we're way off. Way off. Okay. I'm actually gonna move our other projects out of our way for now. All right, so here's what we're working with. All right, so we've got our webbing, we have our 2 lines. Now I'm just gonna come in and I wanna draw a box, or I wanna draw a line basically an inch away from the edge of our webbing. So we'll grab the chalk again, and because we're just gonna sew a 1 inch wide box. So super simple, really easy. If you don't want to sew, you could use rivets here. This is an instance where I actually don't mind sewing webbing on. All right, so we've got our marks, Now, we're just gonna take the end of our webbing, we're gonna line it up with our line, and then we're gonna stitch a box. We're gonna do that on both sides. Getting in my own way today. Do you guys have days like that where you just like cannot get out of your own way? That's where I'm at. All right. I'm using white thread because that's what we're using, and that's fine with me. Just right to that line that we drew. Okay, there's our box. And then we'll just come over here and we're gonna sort of lift up our handle so that we can match that line and do the same thing. And because this is a raw edge project, so we don't have a lining, we're just making sure that we snip all of our threads in all the places. Now we're good to go. We're using an all black zip for this one. I have our zip pull, but we're not going to put it on just yet. All right, so zipper right side down. And we're just stitching right on to the side with our bag tag first. All right, and then we're going to top stitch our material away from that zip. And again, I'm just being mindful of all of our threads. Okay, so that's what we're working with. And then we're gonna take our other end here and we're just gonna put it up to the other side of our zipper. Make sure we're matching. And by matching, I mean here. We want to make sure that we're in line. I'll come over here and do the same thing, and as long as we are, we'll move forward with stitching. And you could clip this or tape it or whichever, or you can just kind of hang on to it and feed it through like I'm doing. This is definitely an easy, beginner-friendly sew. The hardest part is putting on that handle. Now to top stitch this, we do need to fully separate our zipper. If you've never done that before, it can be scary, but it's not, because it's going to go right back together. Okay, time to put the zip pull on and finish her off. See how fast that is? Again, we're doing all black. And we're gonna run our zipper pull all the way on and all the way off, and then we'll thread it back on again for the final time. And this will just help us, it'll keep everything closed nice and tight, and we won't have to worry about it later. Okay. You can already kind of see how this is going to look, and it's looking adorable. This material, I'm a big fan. This came from Your Vinyl Source, you guys. I know I have been using so many materials in the videos that I haven't really been talking about where they came from, but I do just want to give a shout out to Your Vinyl Source because this has been a fan fave. I feel like it's going to keep being a fan fave, and it's beautiful. All right, so basically now we're just going to turn it so that it is wrong side out. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and match up our sides, and we're going to start with the bottom. Sometimes our seam allowance with the zipper might be a little bit off, and that could affect our the way they come together, and I prefer them to come together if they're going to be not correct at the top, just because it's easier to fix. But it looks like these are fine, and we only have these two sides and then 4 corners to stitch up because the top and bottom are already done since we're using one piece of fabric, which is kind of fabulous. So you can see here, I do have a little bit extra, and I'll just make sure that I don't include that, and we'll just snip it off. It's a super easy fix. And we're gonna stick with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, which I think might be a little different than the original video. We're using elastic that folds over, and that 1/4 inch is going to make it so we don't have to do any sort of trimming. So it'll just be easier for us. One last step that we need to do. Okay. And I am back stitching. I always back stitch at the beginning and the end, so just something to keep in mind. We're just going to check our stitches, make sure that everything caught. And it looks like it did. So now we'll just come in. The only thing we have to trim really is just our zip tape off. Any extra, so see like right here, we'll just, with our good scissors. I have a pair of scissors for just trimming zips. See, now we fixed that little discrepancy. Okay. And anytime you cut a zipper, you're going to want to just seal it up real good with some heat. Now we're going to grab our fold over elastic. Hopefully you guys are still watching and you're not like, oh, binding. Okay. And what we want to do is go down. We'll just trim these up again, you guys. My bad. We're trimming all of our threads this time around. So basically what we're going to do, and why I love using fold over elastic, it's got this line down the center. You can use the matte side if you want to be showing, or the shiny side. I've been using the shiny side, so that's what we're going to stick with today. And it just kind of folds right around, and the center marking, if it's on the center of your fabric, you know you kind of got it exactly where you want it. So I have this overhung just a little bit, and it's still attached to the roll. Okay, and we're doing slightly smaller seam allowance than what we originally sewed with. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start it, do my back stitching, and then I'm gonna take my double-sided elastic, I'm gonna stretch it, and it's gonna kind of fold right over our sides. Okay, so see that? That's perfect on both sides. And then we'll just come in here and we'll trim. And we're going to trim down the top two that we left a little long. Okay, all right. Then we'll do the same thing for this side. Leave it a little long, make sure it's folded over halfway. Pull it. Not too much, of course. You don't want it to affect the shape of your bag, but you don't want it to be loose either. Okay, and then the last thing that we need to do, already we're on to the last thing, is go ahead and do our corners. How many pairs of scissors does a sewing girl need? A lot. There's one for everything. All right, so we're gonna start with our big corners on the bottom. And I'm gonna fold our seam so that it's away from our zipper panel. So it's going towards the back panel. We wanna just center it first and then fold it away. And we're gonna sew this with a 1/4 inch seam allowance as well. You can clip here, you guys. Do not have to do like I'm doing, but I find it's a small enough corner that you can kind of just hold on to it. Okay, other big corner. And so make sure again that you're going away from your zipper panel towards the back. Okay, same thing for our smaller top corners. Look at how little these cuties are. So cute. And we're doing these at a 1/4 inch also, again, just to sort of minimize the steps for us afterwards. It'll be easier for us to attach our binding this way. All right, and we'll trim up all of our threads. We just want a really finished look. We have to trim up this corner too because it's a little crooked. And you know what? Crooked's okay. Crooked happens. I think this one corner is the only one that's kind of off a little bit. This is one of the things that is so important to me when sewing, is just like being honest. Not everything is always going to come out perfectly square. I think it's so unfair if that's all you ever see. Sometimes stuff is crooked. It's cool. We can fix it. Easy peasy. Sometimes I'm so mad at my machine. And when I am, you guys know. That's just important to me. To be me. If I wasn't here being me with you guys, I would be here talking to myself. So, thanks for being here. All right. Almost done. We're going to sort of trim as we go here on this one. So white on white becomes pretty difficult to see. But we're doing the same technique as we did on the side, so we're just overhanging slightly. Not really doing a big pull on this. These corners they're so small, so it's not a huge deal. Just a slight pull. Okay, big corners are done. These guys are so small, it's like 3 stitches. last one. All right, there we go. So now we'll just pop our hand in there and turn it. Ouch. Push out those corners. Top and bottom. And there we go. There is our leopard print emergency bag all done. So that's 2 so far. Now I am going to go ahead, that was about a half an hour start to finish. I'm going to go ahead and sort of speed through the other 2 just so you can see the sewing of the materials and work through those quickly, and then we'll take a look at all of them all together. we did it, and super fast. I know that I sped through the last 2, but seriously though, in real time, 4 of these is just about a little over an hour, not including the cutting and measuring and all that, but just like the sewing. So not super long. Okay, so we've got our classic leopard, which has become just a fan favorite, you guys. Whenever I ask what your favorite is, this one pops to the top. I am here for it. It's beautiful. We've got our air mesh. Obviously it is unstructured, but I'm kind of really digging this. It is so cute. I have seen some like designer style bags using this, and I didn't realize I had it in my stash. But we're here for the air mesh. And then we've got the coral polytech, right? And our vinyl, our Clueless style vinyl. Okay, so the vinyl came from your vinyl source. This polytech came from Endo Love Creation. The air mesh from Glitterbug Fairy, and then our leopard is also from your vinyl source. Okay, so which one's your favorite? I think I might go with the air mesh, you guys. I love it. It's smush. I love smush. Love smush. It's cute. One of the things that I love about these bags, when you do a polytech bag, you're going to be able to just like fold her up. You're not using it, that's okay. It's not going to wrinkle on you or anything like that. Kind of perfect. And these bags will fit a lot, but don't take up a ton of space. So that's where we're at. All right, you guys, that is our 4, and that's actually going to conclude-ish. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll probably have a couple more back to school sewing videos in here. We have to make Dakota's new middle school backpack. We're all going to be here for that, right? She is very excited. She has picked out her materials. She's picked out the pattern she wants me to make, which is a pattern I've never made before, of course. So it's going to be a grand old time here together. So of course we're going to have more back to school stuff. But just a reminder, if you haven't hit up the Etsy shop yet, the link is in the description. Make sure you go over. A lot of that stuff is going to go pretty fast. And remember, there are things throughout the website that will match, okay? So keep an eye out for things to put together. I love, you know, like seeing what people pick out as compliments to each other, because a lot of them are things that I wouldn't even think of. So it's really fun for me too when you do that. Thank you so much for being here with me today and through all of these videos. I appreciate you all so much. I cannot wait to come back and do some more with you. I hope you have a fabulous day, and I will see you soon.